I think that we have a whole lot more fish this year than we've had in previous years. From what I've seen fishing under the lights and what I've done on my charters, it's been really, really good. It's back. Not the big fish that we caught, 6-7 years ago, but they are real quality fish, and it just seems to be getting better. It should be good, with all the fresh water coming through. That's going to move them around a little bit. But, as the summer settles in, it's going to be good. This will be one of the better years we had in the last 4. I've been using mostly the Mojo mullet tail, but the other day, for some reason, out of the blue, I put on just a regular OSHA Truce Terra tail, and I smoked them with that. I was catching 2 at a time with almost every cast, so I may go back old style again. 3/8 jig head, except when I was throwing a double one on, and I had a 1/4 and 1/8. This time of year, you always catch them better on a rising tide, partly because that's when all your bait shrimp and your little croakers is all coming into the lake. Always, April, very beginning of May is better with the rising tide, and then on the other end of the year, August is always a good month because the little white shrimp are all coming in. It's always better on a rising tide. Only times during the year. The rest of the year, it's all better on a falling tide. Last week it was in the afternoons, but the tide's going to be jumping in the next few days, so it's probably going to switch over to the rising tide in the morning. And if you want to pick a particular day to go, look for when you got that rising tide first thing in the morning. That's when you're going to do the best. A lot of people fishing. It doesn't matter a whole lot with the amount of fish that are out here, and there's a mixture of fish this year. Last year there wasn't quite the mixture. We got a lot of undersized fish with keepable fish, so you can work through them, to get a good limit. And then at times you'll run into them where all of them are keepable, and they're actually pretty nice. Move a little bit, if you're catching too many undersized fish, just move down. And there's not one particular spot to fish. The whole bridge is good. Just jump in between. I always jump in between where the biggest space is, and I get right in the middle of it. And you always seem to do well doing it, fishing it that way. But I just think there's a lot of fish. We should get it almost all the way through May. Last year it didn't start until May, and then what happened? It lasted for about 3 weeks. I'm thinking this year with even more fish than we have. The waters actually has a little more salinity in it this year too than last year, so it should last at least all the way through May, and hopefully they'll move into the Regules, Seabrook, or they'll show up somewhere else.